Okay. I've been thinking a lot about frequently asked questions. Okay. I chat with people every day that are on the program. Oftentimes the questions are the same. Same for multiple people. So number one question I get is if they go 2 days and they have not lost weight, it's like panic mode.
Right.
Like, I'm not losing weight anymore. What should I do? So what would you suggest?
So
or what does the program suggest?
We do need to talk about this plateau thing, because plateaus, quote unquote, are a natural process of this entire program. They're going to happen. You're going to have days where you don't lose weight. You're going to have days where you gain half a pound. It's part of the thing. So if we were to look at a perfect graph of someone who's been through the program, it is not going to be a straight line from the day they start down to the day that they finish. That's not how physiology works. If you look at that line, it's going to look something like this. And maybe what we'll do is we'll give Mitch a graphic that he can throw up in this video so you can see what the perfect line looks like as far as weight loss. You're going to go up and down.
Your overall trajectory is down,
right?
But you have up and down.
That's
on the way down.
Why it's so important to have the scale and to have coaching is because we can pull that up and we can look at what the overall trajectory is. Okay, so if point A is here and point B is here, who cares how we got to that point as long as point A is up here and point B is down here? Hey,
right.
Not going to be a straight line. It's going to go up and down. It's going to have flat spots. That's reality. Now, for these people that happen to, and this happened yesterday, that freak out about that, you are not doing yourselves any favors. If you are stressed about having a plateau, calm down. When you're stressed, your body's going to secrete hormones from your adrenal glands called cortisol. Guess what cortisol is going to affect? Your blood sugar and your insulin. Which means that you're going to have a plateau if you worry about having plateaus.
Right.
So they're a normal process. Now, that said, if your weight loss stalls, maybe we should call it a stall instead of a plateau. If it stalls for more than 5 days, that's when it's time to take some action.
But 5 days.
5 days.
Not 2.
Look, if 2 is upsetting to you, text us. That's fine. But we're not going to be concerned about it until it's 5.
Right.
So let's talk about some steps to take.
Okay. Number one.
The number one question that your coaches are going to ask you is, are you drinking enough water? How much water are you drinking? Oh, it's a struggle. Why is it a struggle?
I hate the way water tastes.
Get over it.
Can I put something in my water?
No.
Can I go to pick me up?
Your body has
How about drops?
No. So your body has to have water to hydrate, to flush out cells. Like 70% of your body is made of water. You have to flush those cells out. You have to flush out your liver to get those fat burning metabolisms moving again. When you break down fat, there's basically 2 ways to get rid of it. You're either going to breathe it out, which if your breath changes and your spouse says something, be happy because you're burning fat, or you're going to flush it out through your liver, through liver detox pathways. And to support those and to keep those moving, you've got to be drinking at least 64 ounces of water a day. If your pee is on the minimum. If you get closer to 80 or 100, then we do need to talk about some electrolytes to make sure that we're getting enough salt, because you do have to have salt.
Salt? Isn't that bad for me?
No, it is not. You have to have salt to survive. So you have to have that water to flush that system out, and we may have to replace some electrolytes, but that's why you have these awesome coaches to help you through that process.
Okay, so number one.
Drink water.
Okay. Number 2.
Are you drinking any diet sodas?
What is diet?
We have got to get over this notion that because something's 0 calorie that it's good for us. That is trash.
Right.
That is...
How does it taste good if it's 0 calorie?
It drives me nuts, but there's a couple pathways involved here. Number one, diet sodas are going to disrupt your hunger hormones, which means that you're going to make it harder for yourself. And number 2, aspartame is the same as aspartate, which is a neurotransmitter an excitatory neurotransmitter in your brain, which you might think is a good thing to have because it's excitatory and excites your brains, but there's a very, very fine line. Hey, it's like a rocket. There's a very big difference. There's a very small line in a rocket between whoosh and boom, meaning enough energy to make the rocket go versus too much energy, the rocket explodes. Aspartame is the same way. Your body makes it naturally. If you're going to add aspartame to your diet through diet soda, then you're going to push that natural production of it over to a side that might make your brain blow up. It might kill nerves. Okay, so we don't want that because as brain function decreases, gut function decreases.
Right.
And you get trapped into this thing and blah, blah, blah. So number 2 question is going to be, are you drinking diet soda?
Right. And if it doesn't have aspartame in it, it probably has something else in it. The other things.
Well, not to mention that it's in an aluminum can, and aluminum's linked to Alzheimer's, all this other stuff, and
it's just bad.
Bad for the environment. Bad, yeah.
Okay.
No bueno.
Water, no diet soda.
Right. So that's the first 2 questions. Then of course we do want to look at food logs. So we get a lot of this too, that people freak out that they didn't log their food. Honestly, people, we don't care if you log your food or not. The only time we care if you're logging your food is if you are having a stall. Hey, if you're not losing weight, log your food.
Right.
Because then we can go back and look at, okay, are we sticking to the 4, 4, and 4?
Right.
Do we need more than the 4, 4, 4? Because that does happen.
Right.
We have some people that like to work out too much. Not going to mention any names. They just need to eat a little more food.
Right.
Actually, that happened to me, so I can't mention names. Remember when I did this program?
Right.
And I got sick of taking it easy at the gym, and I started going ham. And Dr. Savine was like, well, you idiot, you need to eat more food.
Right. It's not a starvation program.
Right. It is not starving.
Okay.
So food is going to be...
Look at food logs.
Right.
Okay, they're eating their food. They're following the program. They're following the guidelines. We can't find anything in the food log that would lead us to say, oh, this is why you're stalling.
Okay.
So now what can we
Next step is apple cider vinegar. Again, we want to support those liver detoxification pathways. This is super cheap. This is super easy to take 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar once a day and just do it like a shot. Just throw it back.
You just throw it back. Some people don't like that. It kind of burns their face off. So you can dilute it in some water. But then it makes it longer. So either way.
So and don't do the capsules. Do just Bragg's brand apple cider vinegar right out of the bottle. The capsules, they process it to get it in the capsules, and we don't really know what they're doing to it. So just straight shoot it. Okay. So you can do that up to 3 times a day until the needle starts to move. Digestive enzymes can help. Stomach acid support can help. If those things, they will get the scale moving. There's also, we'll talk about bowel movements. If you're having, how many bowel movements a day you're having. If there's some constipation issues, we have ways around that can
help you
get through the plateau.
Okay. What about a change in their eating? What about going to the steak?
So if we go drastic, then we can go to simple foods like steak and apples. There are some ways of having steak and apples for a couple days but that's I don't want to personally do that, so I'm not going to ask other people, but I have seen that be effective.
I have seen it work for people.
Yep.
But it doesn't have to be the first resort.
Right.
It's not like I didn't lose weight for a day, I'm going to only eat steak and apples today.
Right.
That shouldn't be the way it works. Sweet. Okay. Another frequently asked question. This program has no dairy. I'm not drinking milk. My doctor says if I don't drink milk, my bones will break. We do get this question a lot, especially from like a little bit of our older generation people who feel like they're already at risk for having osteoporosis or they're afraid that their bones are weak. True, there's no dairy on this program. Right. So how would you address that?
Dairy being good for your bones is the 3rd biggest lie in our society when it comes to healthcare.
Like, does a body good?
It does a body good is a flat out, bold-faced lie. Okay, there is so much phosphorus in milk that it actually pulls calcium from your bones. It doesn't add calcium to your bones. So dairy really doesn't strengthen your bones at all. It weakens it.
Okay.
Now, the amount of greens and vegetables that you're eating, I guarantee you're getting plenty of calcium.
That's the key, right? Calcium.
Yeah.
is a mineral. It's alive and
it's
well.
It's one
of
of
other
12
things.
keys.
But it's found in things besides dairy products.
Right. But supplement companies can make money by selling you calcium supplements. Stuff like this just gets propagated, right? So I found this quote from a book from 2013. The book is called The Calcium Lie to What Your Doctor Still Doesn't Know. This is from Dr. Robert Thompson. And in the book he says, "We are all led to believe that unless we get loads of calcium, our bones will break and crumble to powder. It's not true. It's never been true. And basic science taught in every university in the world shows us the error of the belief system. Calcium is only one of at least 12 minerals that build strong bones. If you take calcium to strengthen your bones and you already have an excess of calcium in your body, you are signing your own death warrant."
So anti-supplementation for calcium, really. I mean, in most
there's
cases.
a big if in that statement. If you take calcium and your bones and you already have an excess of calcium. So if you don't know, don't take calcium.
Okay.
But if it looks good in your blood work,
you don't need it.
You don't need it. You're getting plenty from eating whole food the way God intended food to be.
Okay, awesome. Okay, another question I get a lot. 4 ounces of food, right? 4 ounces twice a day, protein, fruit, veggies, isn't very many calories, okay? But I might go into starvation mode.
Right.
Okay, if I go into starvation mode, this is like a huge concern for people, right? Because they're eating, even though 4 ounces of food is actually, when I put it on my plate, it's plenty to keep me full.
It's 12 ounces. It's 4 ounces of each. So 4 times 3 is 12.
Right. But we're used to a 12-ounce steak, not a 4-ounce steak.
Right.
Right, when we go out. So it's a real concern for people that, and if they get into starvation mode, then their metabolism is going to slow. This program is supposed to fix my metabolism, but if my metabolism slows, it's going to be slow for the rest of my life, and I will always be fat.
False. So, first off, starvation states happen basically when your body starts burning protein and storing fat. Okay, you don't burn fat in starvation until like the end of starvation. That's the whole like the skinny fat person. Okay, so the lipotropic drops help your body prevent that from happening. So taking the lipotropic drops appropriately is going to keep you burning fat instead of protein. So you're not going to go to a starvation state. Okay, now, there's a big difference between a starvation state and being hungry.
Right.
Hey, you're not starving. You're just hungry. And the reason why you're hungry is because you put so much food into your belly in the beginning that it stretched out. And now it takes even more and more to fill that belly. Now we got to shrink it back down.
To a normal size.
To a normal size. That's just going to take time. 12 ounces of food is plenty.
Right.
Hey, your body will readjust. Your metabolism will reset. And if you keep eating the way we are teaching you to eat 90% of the time when you're done with this program, it's never going to go back. Your metabolism will reset.
Right.
The other thing I'll throw in here is that the app talks about calories, because in order to get that app approved by the FDA, we had to put that calorie junk in there. This is not a calorie model. The calorie model's broken. It doesn't work. It's old science.
What is old science about calorie model? Because it's still alive and well for a lot of people.
To lose weight, you have to eat less than you burn. Eat less calories than you burn. So we pull up to McDonald's now, and what do they have on the menu? Right next to all their items? A calorie count. Right? We're still, and this is new.
Right.
And just in the last couple of years, they started doing that. No. Stop looking at the number of calories and be more concerned about the quality of calories that you're getting. So if McDonald's wanted to make a difference and really gave a crap about health, they would put some sort of inflammatory count on their food, on the menu, not the calorie count. So we are more concerned about you eating anti-inflammatory foods and how much you spike your insulin levels and your inflammation levels than we are how much calories you're actually eating.
Well, it's kind of like the old programs where it's like, you can have X amount of calories in this day. Oh, I have 200 calories left. I'll go eat a donut. Right? I mean, it's that concept though, of like, I'm allowed this amount of calories to lose weight. Not really concerned about the quality of the calories, just
I got 600 left. Let's hit Denny's.
Right. Oh, okay.
No, don't do that.
Not a good idea. Okay. Okay, so we hit plateaus, we hit calcium, starvation mode. Those are the top 3 I had for this week as far as questions. So.
Awesome. So that's great. Just we're proud of you guys. I mean, the numbers we see on the back end as far as how much people are losing it's awesome.
It is awesome.
We love hearing your stories. Please keep them up. Please stay in touch because we do these. We're going to keep doing our classes, and hopefully we're making a difference.